Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday on the Furry Frenzy with me, Valerie, and I'm just showing you a sneak peek. I'm going to show you how I made this really cute hop-up for hamsters, or it could be used for rats or gerbils. I would suggest that do not put this in a cage with an animal that is a huge chewer, although this is all safe for them to chew on, but it just looks so darn cute and you're going to put a lot of work into it and you really don't want it completely destroyed. So let me show you what you're going to need to make this, and let's get started. Okay, so let me show you the supplies that you'll need, and you can find all of this stuff at Joann's, Michael's, Ben Franklin Crafts, Hobby Lobby, anywhere like that, and that's in the United States. I'm not sure about Canada or the UK where you can find this stuff, but any craft store should have all of this stuff. So the first thing you're going to need are some wooden plaques. These are just plaques in the section. I think people do decoupage and things on these. You want one larger one as your base, and you can use any size. You can use square, circle, oval, anything you want. I just chose the heart because I thought it was so cute. So you want one large one, and then you want 2 or 3 smaller ones, and you can see I kind of got a medium and then I got a smaller one, and these are going to be your levels of your hop-up. And then you need some sort of wooden dowel to be your pedestal. If you have a way to cut wood at your house, then I would suggest getting a wooden dowel and then just cutting it into the different heights that you want. I don't have the ability to do that here. So what I got was this, I can't talk this morning, this whittler's kit, and it has just all different sizes of untreated wood, and this is going to be the base for my heart pedestals to sit up on top. And you need however many pedestals you're going to have, you need a dowel for each one, and I don't know what I'm trying to call this, a dowel, and then your flat surface needs to sit on top of the dowel. And then you will need a hot glue gun with non-toxic hot glue sticks, and those are easy to find. You can find those anywhere. And then you're going to need some little screws and a screwdriver. These ones I believe are 1.5 inch in length. They've got to be long enough to go through those little heart pieces. It's got to be long enough to go through those and anchor them down into my dowel. So I got this whole box at Home Depot. You need a little screwdriver also. And then this is totally optional, but if you want to wrap your pedestals in sisal, it just makes a nice little natural thing for them to sort of scratch on and chew on. So you can get this. I have this big roll. I got this at Home Depot. I think it was like $5. And I do a lot of different crafts, so this will last me forever. You can also dye your sisal with food coloring, and you would just soak it in whatever color you want and then leave it to dry. I'm going to leave mine natural. So this is an optional step though. If you don't have this, don't worry, you don't have to. And then you're going to need paint. I have soy paint here. Any all-natural, non-toxic, pet-safe paint, just look it up before you buy it. I have the soy paint here, so that's what I'm using. I've also heard that people use all-natural washable tempera paint, but look that up because not all tempera paints are the same, but there are definitely tempera paints that are used for a lot of kids projects and that are totally pet safe. So you can also look for that too. Again, look in your craft section and look it up, and the tempera paint comes in huge bottles, but again, you need to look at the ingredients and Google it if you're not sure to make sure it's pet safe. And then you need some sort of paint brushes. I have these little sponges, and then if you want to make polka dots, these are really helpful. You can also use Q-tips if you want to do polka dots. And then the last thing, these are just totally optional, but I found these at Michael's, and they're painted in non-toxic paint, and they're just little wooden cutouts. And it's funny, it's Christmas now, but this is kind of turning into a Valentine's Day looking little project. So these are optional. They have them in animals, you can get letters, totally optional. So and you can see once I paint this, I will glue this on top of there. Of course, if you're a good artist, go ahead and paint all sorts of designs, but optional. So the first step is to paint these. Paint your base and your 2 flat surface, or 3, however many you want. Paint them any way you want. You can get as creative or do as little, or if you don't want them painted, if you want it all natural, then you can totally skip this step. So go ahead and paint that and then let it dry, and then we can do the next step. So let me do this and then I will come back and show you what I did. So I am about halfway through, and you can see I chose this nice pink color, and I wanted to give you guys a helpful tip. So what I'm doing is I'm painting the underside first, because I don't want this to be untreated and unsightly. I want it all to be pretty. So I'm painting the underside first, and then with this slide paint it dries pretty fast, so I am immediately flipping it, and then I'm painting the sides and then the top. So any shape you get of these is going to have a side and a bottom, and it's all, even if it's a different shape, it's going to have these sort of beveled sides. So you want to paint those and then the top, because that gives your top a nice, final, clean, smooth finish. And then the other thing I forgot to add is you're going to want to go ahead and paint your wooden dowels. Now, if you're going to wrap them in the sisal, you may not want to do that. That's not a necessary step. But because I don't know what, if any of the wood is going to be showing through my sisal, I'm going to go ahead and paint these. So while you're at it, while you got your paint out, you can go ahead and paint those. So this is what I was talking about before. I painted the sides first. You can see some spots I missed, so I painted the sides first, and now I'm going to go ahead and paint up the top. And since it's kind of hard to look through this and paint, I'm going to turn off the camera. But you see how fast this goes? The wood kind of soaks up the paint. The paint really goes on nice and smooth. So I do this top last, and I just make sure there's no paint spilling over the edges. Alright, so I've got those painted. They just need to dry before I can do anything else. I just went with white and lavender polka dots. I don't know, I'm not thrilled with the way I did the polka dots, but I think it'll look cute when it's all done. I used Q-tips for the smaller dots, and then I used the smaller sponge for the larger lavender one. So yeah, I think it looks okay. And then I just decided that I'm gonna dye the sisal string. I'm gonna try to dye it lavender, so let me get back to you on that. Let's see how that works. So I ended up dyeing the sisal, and I just used, it looks funny on camera here, it kind of looks brown. It's not, it's sort of a pinky purpley, and I just used food coloring, you know, the kind that you dye Easter eggs with, and you can see the before. Let's see, you can see the before and after, so it did significantly change the color. And if I put it, if I show you it, I don't know if you can see, but if I show you it next to my pink, I just think it matches a little bit better. Just a little extra step, especially since I wasn't thrilled with how my polka dots turned out. I don't know, I'm just picky, so it's looking weird to me, the polka dots. Anyways, I am rambling. So I just soaked these in the food coloring and water, warm water, and I soaked it for about half an hour, and now I'm just gonna go throw this in my dryer with maybe an old towel, so I don't get dye all over my dryer. But it's just food coloring, it's not gonna really majorly stain anything. So I'm gonna go dry that, and then we will finish up this project. Okay guys, so my sisal is out of the dryer, and I'm actually pleasantly surprised. It came out this sort of light pink. really pretty. So the next step is, and again, you don't have to do this step. You can totally skip this step. If you're not going to use sisal, just fast forward, skip this. But what I'm going to do using my hot glue gun is I'm going to go ahead and wrap these little blocks in the sisal, just using my hot glue gun. I'm going to make sure it's nice and secure on there, leaving the tops exposed. But I'm going to wrap this whole entire thing in my newly dyed pink sisal, and I'm using my non-toxic hot glue sticks, and I'm heating up my glue gun, so yeah, let me do that. These are all wrapped in the sisal, and I'm really happy with the way they turned out. And just be generous with the hot glue because it's non-toxic, it's fine. And then if you get any of those little strings from the hot glue, take those off. Whoops. So there's that. So for the next step, you want to take your smaller flat pedestals. I still don't know what to call these. You want to take your 2 or 3 or however many you're using, smaller pieces, flat pieces, and you want to find the center. And I've marked that one with chalk. And you can use a ruler, you can eyeball it, just find the center. I kind of feel like I didn't find the perfect center on that one, so I'll have to fix that. And then you can use a drill, or if you're like me and you don't feel like using a drill, just go ahead and take your screw and start screwing it into, placing it into the center, and just until it starts to poke through the back. Can you see that? And when it starts to poke through the back like that, you want to place it onto your dowel or whatever, your sisal wrapped, your wooden piece, and you want to place that on there, center it. I'm not doing a very good job, and then finish screwing that into that. Does that make any sense? I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so I have attached that to the top with a little screw, and I did that to the other one as well. And then what I'm going to do is mark on the base, and I've already done it. Excuse that chalk, it was a mistake. But I marked on the base where I want each of these to go. So I want that one to go there. And then you can see I marked there, and that's where I want that one to go. So that's what it'll look like. And because I'm not using a drill, I'm just going to go ahead and where I marked the chalk, I'm going to put this screw in until it pokes through to the other side, and then I'm going to take it out. So let me show you how I do that. So it started to come through to the back, the bottom. So I'm just going to take it out. It's kind of like drilling a hole without a drill. And that's what it looks like with the 2 little holes. Again, I said if you had a drill, you would just drill 2 little holes where you want your pedestals to go, but since I didn't use a drill, I just did it with the screw and then pulled it back out, and you can see I've got the beginnings on the other side. Now what you want to do is take your screw and you want to put it back in, but this time on the opposite side. So you want to take that, start screwing it in until it pokes through to this side. Okay, so you can see this has started to come through to this side. So what I'm going to do is place the pedestal down centered, place that on there, and then very carefully finish putting the screw in to attach these together. If I finish that and it's a little bit wobbly, or if it doesn't seem secure enough, I can add a bead of hot glue up underneath there. But yeah, that's how you do that. And you do that for both, or 3, or however many you're using. You just do that same thing for all the pedestals. And here it is, my finished product. I decided to add the little wooden cutouts to the top, so I added the love, since this is sort of turning into a Valentine's Day hop-up, which I didn't start out with that in mind, but you know, whatever, you go with it. and I added one there, and then I added another one back there. I decided to just use what I had, and I ended up putting beads of glue on the bottom there just to make sure it was real secure. The last thing you want is the hamster or rat or gerbils to hop up and have the whole thing wobble off. So it's been screwed in there, and then also additional hot glue. And the same thing on that side, and like I said, you could get as creative as you want with these. Since it's close to Christmas, you could make Christmas colored ones. You could make a larger base and put 3 different pedestals. You could also get some sort of a tube and wrap the tube in the sisal and set the tube along there so the hamster could crawl through. Just be creative. If you guys make this, post a picture or a video to it on the Furry Frenzy video here so we can all see. I'd love to see if you guys do this at all. It's a really relatively inexpensive project, and I had ordered my soy paint online, but if you don't have time to get that, like I said, go to your craft store, look in the children's craft section, look for children's paints, tempera paint. Like I said, I've heard you can use that, and look at the ingredients, and you know, whip out your phone while you're there and Google it and see if that particular paint you're looking at is pet safe, because a lot of the water-based paints that they make for children are completely safe for kids and pets. Once you finish this, I would let it dry, let it cure for 24 hours. This is pretty dry, but I just want to make 100% sure that it is ready to go. So wait about 24 hours and then you can go ahead and put it in the cage for your little furry friend to use, or you can wrap it up and give this as a gift. Anybody with small animals would love to get this for the holidays for a present. And thank you guys so much for hanging in there with this long drawn out video. I hope it made sense to you. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask away and I will do my best to answer. And once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of the week on the Furry Frenzy. We have DIYs all week long and a special guest on Sunday. And as I always say, hug your animals, hug your family, and peace and love to everyone.